Hey, good morning, guys. We are set to take off on our fraction multiplication adventure from where we started yesterday. If you guys remember yesterday, we worked really hard on finding multiplication of fractions is just the same as repeated addition of fractions, or if we can actually do it on a tape diagram or a number line, we can use a model to help us with multiplication of fractions as well. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to practice on this one sheet that has 3 word problems on this side and then a visual model page that we're going to do together. So I'm going to go through this kind of quickly. So hopefully you have the sheet in front of you. If not, you should have a piece of paper so you can do the work with us. And again, this is just to kind of jar your memory from yesterday and get us set up for what you guys are going to be working on this afternoon for your homework, or later on today anyway. So here's our first problem. Emma practiced karate for 3/4 of an hour a day from Monday to Saturday. How many hours total did Emma practice her karate? All right, so if I'm doing UCBs, I'm underlining 3/4 of an hour a day, Monday to Saturday. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's 6 days. So that means my equation is going to be 3/4 times those 6 days, and that's what I'm hoping to find. So 3/4 times 6 equals my variable, which is x. My pencil's really bad, so let me grab another one here. Maybe that'll be a little bit darker. Okay, so as we learned yesterday, I could either do 3/4 plus 3/4 plus 3/4 plus 3/4 plus 3/4 plus 3/4, and that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I have 6 3/4, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18. That's going to equal 18/4. And how many 4s go into 18? Well, 18 times 4, that's 4 times 4 is 16. So there's 4 holes, and there are 16 to 18, 2 left over, 4 2/4. And if we're getting really good at recognizing fractions, we know that 4 2/4 is going to reduce down to 4 1/2. So that's the repeated addition model. You could also have done it in a tape diagram. So if you did, here's a 3/4, here's a 3/4, here's a 3/4, here's a 3/4. There's 4 of them, 5 of them, and 6 of them. So there's my 6 3/4 all together. So again, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18 still equals my 18/4, which is 4 2/4, because 4 times 4 is 16. 2 left over out of 4, which reduces down to 4 1/2. And if we're going to write our sentence like we know we will, in a complete sentence, Emma practiced 4 1/2 hours for karate, or something similar to that. Doesn't have to be the exact thing, same sentence. All right, so again, 3/4 times 6 equals 4 1/2. Okay, next question. Lizzie ran 2/3 of an hour for 4 days. How many total hours did Lizzie run? Well, here's our information. 2/3 of an hour, 4 days. So guess what our equation is? 2/3 times 4 equals x. Now, we can do it the easy way. And what we learned yesterday is that we take the numerator times the whole number. So 4 times 2 equals 8. The denominator stays the same, so it's 8/3. If I'm going to change that improper fraction to a mixed number, how many 3/3 go into 8/3? Well, 2 of them would be 6/3. That would leave 2/3 left over. So it looks like our answer is going to be 2 2/3. So if I'm going to use repeated addition on this one, 2/3 plus 2/3 plus 2/3 plus 2/3. 1, 2, 3, 4 of them. Okay, 2, 4, 6, 8. 8/3, and we are good to go. So there's that one. Now, if I wanted to use a number line, that would be another method that we could do, because I know this said use number lines, equal groups, and equations. We're kind of doing this one with the repeated addition. You could do the same thing as we did up here with your tape diagram too. You'd come up with the same answer. Okay. So, we got our sentence. So Lizzie ran 2 2/3 What's our label here? Hours. Total hours. Bingo. Okay, on to the last question on this page. Jim swam 1 1/4 hours every morning for 1 week. How many total hours did Jim swim? So 1 1/4 hours, 1 week. Now, I hope you didn't fall into the trap that your equation is going to be 1 1/4 times 1. That's not going to be right because this is 1.5 hours a day. How many days are in a week? 7. So your equation is 1 1/4 times 7. Now, this is a little trickier because we haven't run into a mixed number times a whole number, but it's really kind of the same thing. So if you remember how we changed a mixed number into an improper fraction, well, remember 1 whole is going to be 4/4. So this is 4/4 plus 1/4. So this is really 5/4 times 7. And from there, we know what to do because all we have to do is take the whole number times the numerator. 5 times 7 is 35. And 4 is going to be my denominator. How many 4s go into 35? Well, 9 times 4 is 36. So that's going to be too big. So I'm going to go down 1 and take 8. 8 times 4 is 32 to 35. So 33, 34, 35 is 3. And 4 is going to be my denominator. So it looks like my answer is going to be 8 3/4. Now, again, how do we get this 5/4? Well, we just changed this. Remember our trick. We could have done 4 times 1, because that's 4/4 is 1 whole, plus the 1 more. So 4/4 plus 1/4 is 5/4. And then we go from there. All right. If we're going to draw this out, again, this would be the same thing as if I was taking those 5/4. So 5/4 plus 5/4 plus 5/4 plus 5/4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and there's my 7th one. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, which is what I came up with when I switched over to my improper fraction, 35/4, which breaks down to 8 3/4. So Jim swam 8 3/4 hours this week. All right, so there's your word problem practice on the first side of the page. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to save this video and I'm going to upload it as part 1, and then I'll do part 2 on another video just so it won't be so long and take so long to upload. So I'll be right back with the second video.